my gosh, Pesto's Test Kitchen. Look at what we have today.
My brother, Tommy Matthews, the one, the only. Nice to see you, Tommy. How you doing, brother?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the Test Kitchen.
Yeah, this is a big deal. For the folks at home who might recognize Tommy from our show, we have featured Crooked River Forge before and how he makes these unbelievable knives. But watching how they're made and then watching how they're used.
That's it. That's
in
what it's all
the hands
about.
that it really matters.
And
this is what it's
that's
about
what it's
today,
all about.
right?
Exactly. I pride myself in taking, because I hunt, so I like taking it from the field to the kitchen to the dinner table. So I like to make my knives for all those purposes. So to have a chef of this caliber to use my stuff on a regular basis and
it's my pleasure, man.
And give me praise for
Get
it,
out of
man.
here,
It's
guys.
winning for sure.
No. Forge and Fire champion. If you haven't watched his show on Forge and Fire, season
5, episode 36 or 37, depending on what platform you're watching it on. I've recently come to know. So look for the steel takedown bow, which I didn't see that one coming, but
no. That was totally and the thing is, you won on an element that wasn't inside of your skill set necessarily. Building a bow out of steel. In how many hours?
I think we had, you get 4 days.
4 days?
Shop.
4 days?
Yeah.
So the research that goes behind that, the thought process that goes behind that, you forged your own arrow tips, made your own arrows, everything. It's an amazing
supplied
piece.
the arrows, which was cool. They said you can make your own, but they gave us nice arrow shafts with fletchings already attached to them from turkey feathers, and we just had to put the tips on them, which, we had to make like 6 of those, so
great
to make them all.
So let's talk about what you do, man. How you got into this? You were in the steel business, right?
Yeah, I came up all the way from being a laborer all the way up through as a purchasing agent and sales. Worked for some of the big steel companies in the area, selling and whatnot. And I was relieved of my corporate America duties, and I had just gotten into,
hobby at first?
It was a hobby. I was making furniture, and people ask me all the time, how'd you get started? I was a blacksmith. I wanted to kind of incorporate that into furniture that I was making. I was doing a lot of pallet rustic stuff. And I got all the stuff, and the first thing I made was a knife, and I never worked on furniture again.
Well, you found your calling, because I'm absolutely... Everybody I show your knives to, you're already established yourself as a brand in the area. Just with a few different venues you've gone to, the Youngstown Flea, making some knives for me, which I'm honored to have in my collection, and the collection continues to grow, because these are my knives, and I have a lot more knives on the wall. But these are some commercial knives.
Right.
Tell me the difference between your knives, Tommy, and some of these commercial knives that are great knives, because this is both of our idol, Bob Kramer, right there. And then we have Global, some great steel from Global in Japan, and then we have your absolutely custom-made set. So tell us the difference, why yours are better.
Because we know they are.
That's an honor to even be compared with Bob. He is kind of one of the... He brought Damascus back to the
because it was a lost art.
It was, and he is
the
kind of one of
recipes were forgot, how to forge it, how to make the steel,
and the patterns. I mean, you can see the patterns in here. This is multiple layers of steel that create patterns, and what he has done for the industry has kind of like just catapulted this.
And he's making knives with meteorites now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
crazy
where do you even
stuff.
get that steel? I mean, I don't want to even have to foot the bill for the travel.
That assignment, Mark. I'm not getting you.
No, I don't. I know.
But my stuff is pretty much all made from high carbon steel, so you're going to notice.
Just look at the craftsmanship in yours.
My stuff is not going to be all nice and shiny like this is a stainless steel Damascus pattern that Bob did.
But look at
here.
my test kitchen; it's very rustic.
It is,
and your knives are perfect for it.
That's what I pride myself on. People have come up to my table and said, "Oh, so you refurbish old knives?" And I'm like, "No, but that's a great compliment, because I wanted my knives to look like my grandfather's old knives that I saw around the house growing up.
The old carbon steel, they got the patina to them.
The old Italian making sauce in his basement, and stuffing sausage, and using these old knives that have been sharpened so many times that the blade is kind of worn out.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I want my knives to look like. So
I love it. I love it. So how long does it take for you to make a knife? I'm sorry, Lauren.
That's okay. Yeah.
I get that question a lot too, and it's hard to say because, as you probably know from seeing how much I bring to the flea, I'm making 10, 15 knives at a time. I cranked out that set, another set of 3, a couple other blades that were mixed into that were EDCs and hunters type stuff.
And that's what's great about how diversified you are, because there's a huge market for the hunters that need skinners and all of those different application knives. Exactly.
So to put it down to one knife, all I can say is in Forged and Fire, I made a knife in 6 hours.
Wow. Wow. And if you've never
Start
watched
to
that
finish.
show, the pressure, how hot is it in that forge?
It was August. It was in the 90s outside. We had 4 forges going in a room probably double this size. They said it was over 113.
How many studio lights above you lighting you?
All that too. You got to figure all that in. So they said somewhere around 113 degrees on the floor while we're working.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's crazy.
That's incredible.
All right, so Mark, I have a question. All right,
Yeah.
so when you're looking at, just a regular set of knives, I would go to like Macy's and buy a set of knives, or I would register on my wedding registry for like Hinkle or something like that.
Yeah.
All good names, but when it comes to the preciseness and the accuracy and like the blade, what are you looking at when you are
first off,
deciding for what you do in your kitchen? Because this is your kitchen.
I have a career
It's his
that's
kitchen,
spanning
yes.
now a long time. I started collecting knives around 22 years old, and I showed Tommy some of those knives. So I've been collecting for almost 31 years. I've been collecting knives and used multiple different platforms of knives throughout, from both commercial, exotic knives like Tommy, Bob Kramer, things like that. I'm looking for a knife for me that's very well balanced in my hands, which Tommy's knives are so perfectly balanced, and they just really feel great in your hand. I'm looking for ease of sharpening, because I like a knife that retains an edge really, really well, and then it's easy to get that edge back with a honing steel. So I like that about his knives. And also I like how sexy they are. You know what I mean? You want a knife in your hand when you get to a point in your career that somebody looks at you and say, where'd that guy get that knife?
Yeah, looks good.
And I'm like, this guy right over here, Tommy Matthews. And so a lot goes into the thought process. And another thing too is, nothing against some of the knife makers you made, but I cut myself last weekend prepping in the kitchen, and it was like a surgical cut from a scalpel. So that means that that cut is going to heal very quickly, because it was a clean cut. When you buy some of those lower end knives that don't retain that edge, your cut's going to be a lot worse, and it's not going to heal. We're going to do some cutting when we come back.
Is that okay with everybody?
That is.
Can we take a break?
Sounds good.
You're going to stay with us?
I'm going to stay here because I love the smell of what's going on in here.
Yeah, we'll take you see what we're going to be cutting up next. We are back in Pesto's Test Kitchen. We've got Tommy Matthews. We have Mark Canzonetta. I should just get out of the way.
I don't think so. We love having you here. I mean, you make it all come together,
I'm like the glue.
You are the glue.
You guys are the bricks, and this, you guys. We had a bunch of knives out before, and we were talking through some of the differences between how you make knives and why you like a certain knife a certain way.
I do.
And for you guys, you are a hunter.
I am.
And you understand that we go from turkey to turkey to plate.
Yeah, exactly.
So and this thing.
Well,
this looks amazing.
My chefs in the background, our chefs in the background back there, Jesus and Trayvon, they prepped this all this morning for us, and they did a fantastic job. So one of my favorite things is this time of year, because it's meat time, man.
It is.
We have a lot of vegan food on our restaurant, Bistro. I love it. We create it for vegans. But when it comes to fall, I love I call it proper prime rib. Proper prime, like an English prime rib. And then we have this magnificent turkey, and Tommy was going to get us one from his backyard, but they weren't cooperating.
No, they weren't coming yesterday.
Funny thing about nature.
You got your little turkey?
But you can count on Hillcrest Food.
Yes, we can count on Hillcrest Food. They supplied everything today. They're one of our branding partners, and they do a great job for us.
I think they actually heard it, and then they made sure that we had the meat here today. So my gosh, you can hunt a different day, right?
Yeah,
we're going to
I
cut
will.
today.
So Tommy, what kind of knife do you like to use to cut like a prime rib? What would you recommend?
Well, I recommend for big cuts of meat, this Western French Chef is what I call it. So it's sort of like the old French Chef. I tend to have a Western kind of spin with the rusticness of the knife and everything. But as you can see, this is probably about a 9-inch blade on this knife. This is a big piece of meat, and we're going to have no problem getting through this cut.
Absolutely not. So like, I go between different jobs. Sometimes I like an 8-inch French knife, a 10-inch French knife. Yours is perfect because it's utility for all jobs. You can cut around anything. Because a chef really only needs 3 knives. You need a French knife, you need a boning knife, and you need a paring knife. And you can pretty much accomplish anything you need to do in the kitchen with those 3 knives. So if you pay attention and you have a little bit of extra money in your budget, go to crookedriverforge.com, check out Tommy's knives. You're on a little bit of a wait because you're getting to be like a superstar now. So how long does it take for us to get one of your knives now?
Right now I'm about 4 to 5 weeks. The Christmas rush hasn't even hit yet. I have probably about 40 blades on my books right now, so please don't wait.
Yeah.
Get in now so that you can have it for Christmas. I really don't know how many I'm going to be able to take before I have to cut it off.
Well, you're a one-man show.
I am.
And that's what's so special about it. You do this alone by yourself. You craft the blades, the handles, you do all the mill work, you do everything yourself.
Exactly.
And that's why, I mean, look, tell us about that handle, because it's absolutely gorgeous.
This handle is absolutely gorgeous, and this is some of the only material that I've gotten. A friend of mine, Scott Johns, down in Jacksonville, Florida. This is called spaghetti oak, or it's a spalted oak. It's just a beautiful piece of wood. I don't know if you can pick up all
the graining is just
spalting, and it does look like spaghetti. So that's kind of the nickname, spaghetti oak.
All right, well, let's see how that blade performs, Tommy.
All right.
And this is a great, great meal for the whole family, and
Well,
it's gonna
you know
be
what?
a
We
wow.
do
This-
this.
it's gonna
I like to
feed
do a
the
proper
army.
piece of prime rib on Christmas Day. I really like that. Now, when you cook this piece of prime rib, one of the most important things is you want to do, and the end cuts are always going to be a little bit more medium well done, and we love that for our guests that have that. And then once you get towards that center, you're going to
keep
find a
going, Tommy,
perfect,
if you want
Okay.
to.
Yeah.
a perfect
Keep going.
medium rare.
How thick do you want to go here?
And
Well, whatever you want to do, man. Keep cutting while you're happy.
That crust, man. Look at that,
That bark
crust.
is just, that's what it's
Yeah.
all about. You want to make sure that when you pull your prime rib out, you want to let it rest for about 20 to 25 minutes, because if not, you're noticing all the juices are staying inside of the muscle versus steeping out. And that is just so very important. Now you're starting to see that medium rare coming about.
It's looking
And
like
you know
a
what?
king.
It is. You know, we have a nice au jus back here for it. You can do a great horseradish sauce for it, or you can just eat it on your own. You know, the thing about this is, oh, that looks great.
Yeah,
that's
that's
perfect.
beautiful.
And what you want to notice is this is heavily seasoned on the outside.
What did you put on it?
We put salt, pepper. That's really all you need when you have a good piece of beef. And then I love from France herbs de Provence, because it's got lavender and it's got
smell
marjoram and
lavender.
thyme, and you can smell all those great herbs. And just look at how that's fantastic.
Dude,
when we come
the
back, we're going to do
juice.
the turkey.
Like, look at that.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that muscle's
just
nice
beautiful.
and compact. Again,
perfect.
the resting of that meat is really, really important. And also, prior to that, you want to make sure the meat is brought up to room temperature before you put it in the oven, because if not, your outside's going to be cooked, your inside's not going to be cooked.
And this took how long?
That took about 2 hours and 45 minutes.
At what temperature?
We were in there at 350 degrees.
All right, very good. Taking notes. We'll be right
Amazing.
back with a special gift from this one to this one.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Well, the cutting fun has begun in a very
Yeah.
big way. Thanks to Tommy Matthews
Thank
and
you.
Crooked River Forge for being here in Pesto's Test Kitchen.
Thank you.
I'm going to
Tom.
let the man love continue.
I know,
Man
because
meatloaf,
Tommy and I have been
right?
talking about a special project for a long time.
And
We
it's
have.
finally here. You were
I'm
on
a
wait
big
list
fan
for how
of
long?
Game of Thrones.
Yes, you are.
Wow. I just said, Tommy, in your spare time, make this. So I've been a huge Game of Thrones fan, and I love the way the knives look on that, and I wanted a Game of Thrones inspired Thanksgiving carving knife and fork, because I want to pass it down from Canzonetta generation to generation to generation. And there was only one guy I wanted to make that knife for me. So I haven't seen it yet. He's talked to me. He's posted little blips that have made me crazy.
Right? We
So-
actually have some of the books
So
on
I know.
All right,
I know.
let's see it.
All right. So this
Describe it to
definitely took me out of my box, which I love to do from time to time.
My
The
God.
stag
Look at this.
is mule deer that came from a friend of mine that I served over in Desert Storm with. He lives out in
Oh,
Arkansas.
man.
I did some walnut, leather stack,
Oh my God.
brass
It's above expectation. So
brass
far
liners in there.
This is crazy.
Tommy, are you kidding
Oh my
me?
God! And the way you made the antler go to feel in your hand.
Ergonomic, right?
It's very ergonomic. Oh my God.
You better all look out back there. All our people.
So let's see how it works, because
Oh my God.
that's going to be
So,
the true test.
This is, I wanted to have something special at Thanksgiving. You know, we roasted this beautiful turkey, and we're just going to go down. You follow the breastbone. Oh my God, it's like cutting through butter.
Awesome.
It's like cutting through butter. And you just
So you
follow the
follow the breastbone
all the way down. You follow the skeleton, and that's all you do.
So you shouldn't try and just shave off like layer,
You can't.
layer,
I
layer,
do
layer.
that. I do that when I get to the end. So I just cut this off, and we're gonna pull this off.
Do you need any help?
No.
Okay, I do
And I'm
have
just gonna
clean
put it
hands.
right there, and just look
man.
at that. And then Tommy, look at how little pressure This knife is so perfectly balanced, and I am just slicing through it like it is a hot knife going through butter. Guys, enjoy
Man.
that. Tommy, it's been an honor to have you on the show. This knife is so ridiculous. Look at the craftsmanship on that blade.
Thank you.
And everything. Tommy, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, brother. I hope your family enjoys that for many years.
generations. So anyway,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of
Happy
our friends
fall.
out
Happy
there.
Thanksgiving.
So
Continued success, my friend.
Thank you.
We love
guys.
you around here. He's invited back whenever he wants, pretty much, I think.
always welcome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Lauren.